Good morning, class. This is your teacher, Miss Judy N.C. Pataksil. How are you today? Welcome to ICT 10 subject, 4th quarter, week 5. Our learning competency for this morning is identify the procedures in maintaining network systems. The lesson that we are going to discuss this morning is about maintaining network systems. Maintaining computer system and network increases efficiency and saves you from the hassle and expense associated with major repairs. However, it is essential to understand how to schedule maintenance plans and implement it accordingly. By learning when maintenance is practical and developing a schedule strategy, you can set up maintenance strategies that are beneficial to your computer system and network. So the following are the procedures on how to maintain computer systems and networks. First, create an equipment maintenance schedule. So in order to perform the maintenance of your computer efficiently, a maintenance schedule is made to guide the personnel in the proper maintenance procedure. So this will help them remember the maintenance tasks that need to be done in order to improve the functionality of the computer system and networks. Then, create a maintenance checklist. So, to determine if the maintenance program is implemented according to what is planned, an assessment must be done. So, the result of the assessment will then be recorded and reported to the proper authorities for immediate action. The assessment is through regular inspection, which assure that the maintenance activities are done on the date and time was planned and that the performance levels adhered to the defined standard. So below is a sample maintenance inspection checklist. So this checklist will confirm if the maintenance activities have been performed in order to prolong the life of this particular equipment. So the inspection items are stated in the question form as these serve as the criteria or standards of maintenance. The next, perform the computer maintenance task regularly. So just knowing all the basic of computer maintenance task schedule clearly will not be enough. Find time to apply all the maintenance procedure regularly and frequently. Make computer maintenance activities a regular practice so that you will always have a fine-tuned computer with good performance. Then perform network maintenance procedures. So networks are used to transmit information and electricity through cables. So when installing these networks, utmost care must be applied to protect the network installers from injury. So procedures must always be followed to ensure that those around the network cables do not become the victims of electrical fires or other hazards. Then we have DAC systems. So networks are sometimes installed in DAC systems. So there is a concern that the network cables might become damaged during construction. So the DACs must be built away from planned future road and construction utilities. So according to the International Telecommunication Union, the manholes placed in the roads must be kept away from intersections so that the network installation and repairing workers are not at risk at being hit by a vehicle. Then we have optical lasers. Networks that use optical lasers uses invisible radiation that is emitted by these lasers. So before installing the lasers, the laser operation manual and safety guide must be read. According to NET app, no one should stare inside the optical ports from where the lasers emit their light or else blindness could result. So when working with the laser, safety goggles must always be worn. Then we have falling. Many networks are run along utility poles, which are wooden poles that have network cables raised high above the ground. When installing these cables, falling can be disastrous given the height of the utility poles. So therefore, network installers should wear safety harnesses to ensure that they do not fall. We have de-energized. So some networks have cables that are electrically charged. So these cables must be de-energized and tests should be used to ensure that the cables do not have any remaining electricity in them. So the tools that are used for repairing the cables are insulated so that electricity does not travel through them and into the hands of the line repairer. Cable safety standards. So network cables must have certain characteristics to be legally used for networks. So the cables must not produce flames that can ignite anything. They must not have halogen, and they must not produce acidic fumes, and they must be resistant to ionizing radiation. Then cables must be coded so that those working with the cables can identify what they are. Cable inspection. Networks must only be installed by licensed professionals. Building inspectors must check the network cables to ensure that they are installed properly and that they will not create a fire hazard. So these building inspections are especially important when the property containing the network cable is sold. General safety. Safe working conditions help prevent injury to people and damage to computer equipment. A safe work space is clean, organized, and proper lighted. Everyone must understand and follow safety procedures. Follow the basic safety guidelines to prevent cuts, burns, electrical shock, and damage to eyesight. As a best practice, make sure that a fire extinguisher and first aid kit are available in case of fire or injury. Poorly placed or unsecured cables can cause tripping hazards in a network installation. Cables should be installed in conduit or cable trays to prevent hazards. So these are some of the basic safety precautions to observe when working on a computer. First, you need to remove your watch and jewelry and secure loose clothing. Turn off the power and unplug equipment before performing service. Cover sharp edges inside the computer case with tape. Never open a power supply or a CRT monitors. Then do not touch areas in printers that are hot or that use high voltage. Then know where the fire extinguisher is located and how to use it. Then keep food and drinks out of your workspace. Keep your workspace clean and free of clutter. Then bend your knees when lifting heavy objects to avoid injuring your back. Electrical safety. So follow electrical safety guidelines to prevent electrical fires, injuries, and fatalities in the home and the workplace. Power supply and CRT monitors contain high voltage. So caution, only experienced technicians should attempt to repair power supplies and CRT monitors. Some printer parts become hot during use and other parts might contain high voltage. So check the printer manual for the location of high voltage components. Some components retain a high voltage even after the printer is turned off. So make sure that the printer has had time to cool before making the repair. So electrical devices have certain power requirements. For example, the AC adapters are manufactured for a specific laptop. Exchanging power cords with a different type of laptop or device may cause damage to both the AC adapter and the laptop. The next, follow fire safety guidelines to protect lives, structures, and equipment. To avoid an electrical shock and to prevent damage to the computer, turn off and unplug the computer before beginning a repair. The following are general information on electrical safety. Electrical equipment that is plugged into a power source should never be handled if your hands or feet are wet. Do not allow cables and plugs to get wet. Thus, keep liquids away from electrical equipment. Then unplug equipment by pulling on the plug and not the cord. Damaged electrical equipment that constitutes an electrical hazard is not to be used until properly repaired or replaced. Never connect electrical cords in series. All electrical circuit disconnects or panels must not be black. Ground pins on the plugs and the devices plugged into the receptacles must be intact. Then do not store flammable liquids near electrical equipment. Fire safety. Fire can spread rapidly and can be very costly. Proper use of fire extinguisher can prevent a small fire from getting out of control. So when working with computer components, be aware of the possibility of an accidental fire and know how to react. Be alert to notice odors being emitted from computers and electronic devices. Then when electronic components overheat or short out, they emit a burning odor. If there is a fire, follow the safety procedures. Never fight a fire that is out of control or not contained. Always have a planned fire escape route before beginning any work. Then get out of the building quickly. Contact emergency services for help, then locate and read the instruction on the fire extinguisher in your workplace before you use them. Be familiar with the types of fire extinguishers used in your country or region. So each type of fire extinguisher has specific chemicals to fight different types of fire. Now let's proceed to the types of fires. So not all fires are the same. Different fuels create different fires and require different types of fire extinguishing agents. So we have the Class A fires or fires in ordinary combustibles such as wood, paper, cloth, trash, and plastics. Class B fires are fires in flammable liquids such as gasoline, petroleum oil, and paint. So Class B fires also include flammable gases such as propane and butane. Class B fires do not include fires involving cooking oils and grease. Class C fires are fires involving energized electrical equipment such as motors, transformers, and appliances. Remove the power and the Class C fires becomes one of the other classes of fire. Next, we have the Class D fires are fires in combustible metals such as potassium, sodium, aluminum, and magnesium. We have the Class K fires are fires in cooking oils and greases such as an animal's fats and vegetables fats. Some types of fire extinguishing agents can be used on more than one class of fire. Others have warning where it would be dangerous for the operator to use a particular fire extinguishing agent. Different types of fire extinguishers are designed to fight different classes of fire. The three most common types of fire extinguishers are water or the APW, the carbon dioxide, the dry chemical which is the ABC, BC, and BC. Water-informed fire extinguishers snuff the fire by taking away the heat element of the fire triangle. Foam agents also separate the oxygen element from the other elements. Water extinguishers are for Class A fires only, and they should not be used on Class B or C fires. The discharge stream could spread the flammable liquid in a Class B fire or could create a shock hazard on a Class C fire. Carbon dioxide fire extinguishers snuff fire by taking away the oxygen element of the fire triangle and also by removing the heat with a very cold discharge. Carbon dioxide can be used on Class B and C fires. They are usually ineffective on Class A fires. Dry chemical fire extinguishers extinguish the fire primarily by interrupting the chemical reaction of the fire triangle. Today's most widely used type of fire extinguisher is the multi-purpose dry chemical that is effective on Class A, B, and C fires. So this agent also works by creating a barrier between the oxygen element and the fuel element on Class A fires. It is important to know how to use a fire extinguisher. So use the memory aid, the pass, to remember the basic rules of fire extinguisher operation. So for P, pull the pin, and for A, aim at the base of the fire, not at the flames. Then for the first S, squeeze the lever. Then the last S is sweep the nozzle from side to side. So that's all for our lesson this morning. I hope you enjoy and you've learned a lot. Thank you for listening. Your activity and for your quiz, just follow the GAITF link on your screen. Again, good morning and have a nice day.